It's your boy Town Biz, getting the live in on my way home. Just got through working. Damn, how many hours did I work? What, 15, something like that. But nevertheless, this is gonna help me with the Shakur Stevenson fight. So, once again, I'll pay out of pocket to go cover these fights. You know what I'm saying? I don't depend on no vids and all that kind of stuff, since these fighters say that we're eating them. Funny thing is, they eating off of us. That's the real story, because like I said, if we actually don't talk about them in our videos, nobody don't go buy their pay-per-views or go pay to see them fight or whatever. So actually they're eating because of us. But they go out of their way to like dog out certain media, primarily the media like them. That's with the so-called brother. But then they'll have the audacity to talk about racism and boxing and how they get treated, but then they treat their own like trash. I'm like, payroll Giovanni, the nerve of you dudes. But nevertheless, okay, so wow, it's fight week. It is fight week with Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte, and I've heard next to nobody talk about this fight. So I'm gonna talk about it, and basically what I'm gonna say, based off the fact that it's fight week and there's next to us, it appears that nobody gives a damn about this fight. And also, nobody gives a damn about Tyson Fury unless he's fighting Deontay Wilder. Even in 2 victories versus Wilder, Tyson Fury's claim to fame is his 2 fights. Well, his 3 fights with Wilder. That's basically what he gonna be remembered for. Many of us believe that he's gonna defeat Dillian Whyte. He's probably gonna just outbox him, or he could stop him. I mean, Dillian Whyte has a puncher's chance versus Tyson Fury because he can crack, and I mean, he might can hit Tyson Fury with something that may put his lights out. Keep in mind, Tyson Fury has been dropped, like, you can make an argument he's been dropped at least like 4 or 5 times by Deontay Wilder in 3 fights. He's been badly hurt versus Deontay Wilder, so you have to wonder how he's going to be coming off that fight. He took some punishment against Wilder in that last fight, so you have to wonder how he's going to be going into this fight. But he's a huge favorite in this fight. But the thing is, nobody cares about Tyson Fury. And that's being proven. I know they saying that a mass amount of people was coming to see him fight, but it's sometimes a catch to that. And I don't want to go into deep detail, but I'm just saying, as far as the overall buzz about this fight, I'm just talking about from people that just cover fights and cover it. It just don't seem like, some of the usual. And the fight is going on this Saturday. I know Tyson Fury's brother, if I'm not mistaken, he'll be featured on the card. Tommy Fury will be featured on the card. I think, damn, I forgot who's going to be all on that card, but I'm pretty sure Tommy Fury is fighting on that card. I know they was doing an interview with Joseph Parker. Boy, dude, Joseph Parker got some stuff going on with him. But I really don't want to talk about that. I don't really, you know, I just wish the best for him. I hope he can find a way out of this. You know, and that's just real talk. But I just noticed when it pertains to this fight coming up with Tyson Fury and Dillian White, it just seemed like nobody don't give a damn about it. Like John Witherspoon, I don't give a damn. Thing is, I don't even know what time this fight started. I'm trying to figure out what time did this damn fight start. I know they're gonna be on I know this fight is in London, if I'm not mistaken, in Wembley Stadium. So based off the time zone, I guess to be on the safe side, I guess I'll get up around, if I'm asleep, I guess I'll get up around 11 a.m. or something and try to check for the fight. See what's up with it. So basically, after we get this fight over with, then we go into the next big fight, which is Shakur Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez. Which, by the way, I will be attending that fight. So I'll be covering that fight. And I'm really looking forward to this fight. I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be a barn burner. I think it's gonna be a great fight, but I think at the end of the day, I think Shakur Stevenson is gonna prevail in this fight. I think he's gonna put on a star-making performance. He says that's what he wants to do. He said he wants to put on a star-making performance. He said he wants to be considered a top 10 pound-for-pound fighter. You know, and mythical, debatable, subjective pound-for-pound. I mean, it's anybody, you know. But man, that's gonna be a great fight to pretty much end the month of April, which we pretty much they got fights every week. You know, we had, you know, basically 4 fights the first week of April. Then we had a fight, you know, of course we had a fight Saturday. Then I mean, we had fights every week. We really did, if I'm not mistaken. Look like it's gonna be a fight every week it's gonna get a fight every week in the month of May. So we got a lot of fights coming up, and that's good. Like I said, I wish they just would have spread those fights out, you know, with Michaela Mayer and, you know, Matchroom. They could have just spreaded those fights out. They had 4 cards that night. You know, Triple G early in the morning. They had Triple G early in the morning. Then you had Ryan Garcia. You had the PBC fight. Then you had Michaela Mayer. I was at that fight in attendance. So, like I said, I'll be at Shakur Stevenson versus Valdez. And I can't wait to get to Vegas. I wish I could get there earlier to cover that fight, but I'm not going to be able to get there until like basically the eve of the fight. But I'll be able to make the weigh-in and all that kind of stuff. So that's cool for me. And like I said before, this is going to be a hell of a fight. Make sure y'all tune in. If you come into the fight, tickets are still available. Vegas is going to be crazy that weekend. You got to remember, they got the NFL draft going. When I say Vegas is going to be crazy, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm definitely going to try to go to the NFL draft and try to cover the NFL draft. I got some info. I know the NFL draft is going to be, I think, at the Lynx Hotel in the High Roller Room. I got to look again. But, yeah. I'm definitely going to try to go to the NFL draft, get some footage. You know, they had this big setup where they got all these activities going on. So I heard it's gonna be live. So trust me, your boy Tam Biz gonna have some footage. I keep telling you, man, Las Vegas is beginning to become the spot. It's just cheaper to operate out there versus being in Los Angeles. So that's why they started to have a lot of events in Las Vegas. They had the Grammys there, if I'm not mistaken. So there's also talks of bringing the Oscars there, some other stuff. So they just talking about bringing a lot of things to Las Vegas. So, you know, which is cool. But like I said before, after we get done with this Dillian White Tyson Fury fight, all week long we gonna talk about Shakur Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez. And like I said, I can't wait to see that fight. You know, they considered making this fight a pay-per-view fight, but I guess they decided that Shakur Stevenson is just not there yet. So they just you know, put this on regular ESPN. This is going to be on all of the outlets, if I'm not mistaken. ESPN Plus. So you'll be able to see this fight one way or another. But like I said, I'm looking forward to this fight. And the card is gonna be okay too. You have Keyshawn Davis fighting on the card. I don't know if he's gonna be on the live telecast. Then you have Nico Ali Walsh. He's gonna be featured on the card. I don't know who's gonna be on the whole card, but I'm gonna try to get down there early too. You know, I think, like I said, I think it's gonna be real lit that weekend. I'm pretty sure you're gonna see a lot of NFL people at that fight. So with that being said, that's gonna create a lot of opportunity for me to get some interviews and all this kind of stuff. Because also, hopefully, I could talk to some NFL people. I'm thinking maybe Mark Davis will attend that fight, because, you know, Mark Davis, he does come to a lot of fights, and, you know, Mark Davis has been doing some scouting, you know, because Mark Davis wants to host a huge fight at Allegiant Stadium. And rumor has it that Allegiant Stadium is a candidate to host Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. You know, they already scouting locations, from what I've been told, that Allegiant Stadium is a possibility for Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. I'm pretty sure Vegas Mark will be happy to hear that. But we're far away from that being dead. It's still some hurdles. Still some hurdles that got to be, you know, still some hurdles to jump over or jump through to get this fight made. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I gave my assessment of Errol Spence versus Ugas. Gave my honest assessment, and of course I got called a hater and all this stuff, because like I said before, you're not allowed to critique or say anything that will be deemed bad about Errol Spence without his goofy ass fans coming on your channel and getting upset like you talking about them. They only cool if you talk about Terrence Crawford. But like I said, we already know who's been the main culprits pushing that line and stuff. But like I said before, there's some hurdles that you got to get through to secure this fight. As I talked to Stephen Espinosa, he basically was talking about Daniel Kinahan and him not being involved. And you have some people saying, okay, here we go again. Here we go again, another obstacle. One thing about me, I catch stuff that be said. And I want to say this once again. Whatever you hear on somebody else's channel, that's their channel. Doesn't mean I agree with them or mean I'm going to go the direction they going. That's just real talk. But the short interview with Stephen Espinosa was very effective. I got some information out of him that I wanted to get. And he basically brought up Daniel Kinahan. I was going to ask him about it, but he voluntarily started talking about that. And like I said, some people are saying, oh man, here we go again. I really think the biggest problem making this fight is gonna be what the split gonna be. Like I said, you gonna have a whole bunch of Spence groupies making videos talking about Terrence Crawford need to take this and need to take that and all this kind of stuff. They're gonna be, the fanagers. They're gonna come out of nowhere and start talking about how much they think Terrence Crawford should take, like it's their money. So that could hold up the fight. That could be the sticking point. But I hope they find some common ground. Errol Spence is talking about he willing to make some kind of concession. Like I said, if he start talking that goofy ass 75-25 shit, then yeah, dude, you ain't trying to make the fight. And I'm just gonna say it, and I don't care what nobody say. Cause like I said before, I ain't biting my tongue because some of these niggas on here want me to suck up the Errol Spence. Cause I'm not doing that. Not bite my tongue no more. So I just want to say to you guys that think like that think I gotta watch what I say because you an Errol Spence groupie, basically motherfuck you. Real talk. Ain't nobody trying to hear that 75-25 crap. I ain't trying, or that 80-20. Ain't nobody trying to hear that stuff. Like I said before, they need to do a 2-fight deal. They need to do a 2-fight deal. They fight in a neutral territory first. Now, whoever wins the first fight, they get to pick where the second fight could be. I've said this before, 50-50 the first fight. And then the rematch, you can do 60-40. Because I think this should be a 2-fight deal. I think this should automatically be 2 fights. But you've been hearing Errol Spence said he only got one more fight left at 154. So if Errol Spence wins, he gonna tell Terrence Crawford he got him at 154. Probably. So that's just my take. That's just my take. Well, I don't know what they doing in the UK. Well, if you in the UK, dude, just be safe out there, man. Just be safe. Watch yourself, and if you go into the fight, have a good time. But I'm just telling you right now, I wouldn't even know it was a fight. I just happened to remember that this fight was this week. Because I was like, what? Because I ain't heard nobody talking about it. And I'm really the only one, and basically that's out there talking about this fight. Because like I said before, it just seems like that nobody don't care about this fight. Yeah, nobody. Well, that's what I'm saying, Greg. Do anybody give a damn about this fight? Don't get mad at me. I'm asking the question. Ain't nobody talking about this fight. Ain't nobody checking for this fight. This is what I've been saying about Tyson Fury. Nobody cares about Tyson Fury. When Tyson Fury fought Otto Wallin, I was contacted about covering that fight. And I just said I couldn't make it. Which, by the way, which was the truth. Well, that's what I'm saying. Tyson Fury don't have no fan base unless he fight Deontay Wilder. And let's just keep it a buck. I'm going to say what a lot of people is scared to say when it pertains. The only reason why why Tyson Fury had fans going into Deontay Wilder fight is because Tyson Fury is white, Deontay Wilder is black. And then due to the fact that, now that he didn't beat Deontay Wilder twice, now he goes back to being a gypsy, which I know out there they don't like gypsies. I don't want to get into all that. Now they then went back to not caring about Tyson Fury. Look, I'm not afraid to say these kind of things. The proof is in the pudding. Even after Tyson Fury had that draw with Deontay Wilder, nobody cared about that fight. Nobody cared about any fight Tyson Fury had until he fought Deontay Wilder the second time. Nobody cared about Tyson Fury until he fought Deontay Wilder again. The proof is in the pudding. Now out here, nobody cares about him. Where's his fans at now? Where all his fans at now? This is the same thing that I said about Lomachenko. Lomachenko don't really have a big fan base. And neither does Tyson Fury. Now, where are all these Tyson Fury fans at now? That was rooting for him against Deontay Wilder in the third fight. And he ended up coming out on top, and they loved him. But now all of a sudden that he has a fight coming up with Dillian Whyte, they don't care. Because it was Deontay Wilder that they wanted to see him beat. Even though Dillian Whyte is black, they wanted to see him beat that black man. So that's pretty much the tale of the tape. I'm gonna watch the fight. I'm gonna cover the fight because I cover boxing. But I'm just saying there's no buzz. There's no buzz for this fight. Really wasn't. Really hasn't been. Now, I promise you, fight week with Shakur Stevenson and Valdez, yeah, it's gonna be jumping going in that fight. And really, it wasn't that big of a buzz going into Spence versus Ugas. It started to create a little bit of buzz as we got closer to the fight, but before that, it was kind of lukewarm because a lot of questions remained about Errol Spence, how he would look and all this kind of stuff. And I say for the most part, Errol Spence did his thing. But I saw some things in that fight that showed me that Errol Spence could be beat. I saw some things in that fight that Terrence Crawford could exploit. At the end of the day, this is going to be an intriguing fight with Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. I think that they will find a way to get it done. But like I said before, as long as I don't hear no ridiculous demands, because like I said before, Tim Smith, that was real discouraging when I heard him say, well, we don't know if we have the resources to play, to basically pay Terrence Crawford. And you was like, what? Well, we want to make sure we can give him what he's asking. So that came across as, okay, so now you basically trying to put a label on Terrence Crawford. You're going to try to say he cashed himself out. So I was telling people, okay, watch out for that. And that's why I warned people on Saturday, watch out for that. Because like I said, that's going to be the biggest cap. And you're going to see all these dudes, like I said, these managers, because I'm giving you pre-warning about them. They going to, if this fight doesn't happen, oh, see, Terrence Crawford is being greedy. Why won't he take what? Man, get out of here, man. I promise you that. That's gonna be the new thing, because like I said, the thing is with me, like I said, I fell out of favor with a lot of dudes because, like I said, who was extremists when it came to Errol Spence, because like I said, I wouldn't say what they wanted me to say. And like I said before, and I'm gonna continue to say this, and I know you listening, nobody tells me what the fuck to say on my channel. Nobody. And I mean that. I don't check in with nobody, and I don't have to ask nobody's permission. I critique every fighter. I don't give a damn what color they is. I don't care who they are. If I see some things, I'm gonna point out what I saw. I didn't critique some of the flaws that Terrence Crawford has, because sometimes Terrence Crawford prematurely likes to get into a firefight, and sometimes Terrence Crawford, when he get hit, sometimes he feel like he gotta immediately get back. Like, okay, I gotta show this dude. And I think sometimes he should just, set back, you know what I'm saying, reset, get ready to come back in. You don't have to immediately go in there and figure like, okay, I gotta prove to this dude that, you know what I'm saying, that he really didn't do that. Just be like, okay, I'm gonna just catch you later on. Yeah, Terrence Crawford makes mistakes. And then sometimes Terrence Crawford takes a couple of rounds to like really get going. There's been fights where he got going quick, but then there's been fights where sometimes he wants to take the first 2-3 rounds, figure out what a dude is doing. Because Terrence Crawford got a real good ring IQ. He really does. Because like I said, I just can imagine a whole bunch of different scenarios happening in Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. Because like I said before, I don't see it being a one-sided fight either way. Both men gonna have great moments in that fight. Like I said, it's just really gonna come down, I think, to the last couple of rounds. But I can tell you this, from my own personal opinion, after what I've seen, I have an idea who's gonna win that fight, and I have an idea how this fight is gonna be won. Not gonna say, but I'll put it to you this way. I do believe that Crawford Spence is not going to go the distance. I believe the fight is going to end between 9 and 10 rounds. Not gonna say who I think gonna win. I already have an idea, because I know what's gonna happen. Like I said, I see flaws in Terrence Crawford. I see flaws in Errol Spence. I really saw some mistakes that Errol Spence made in that fight versus Ugas that people didn't want to point out. Now, I talked about the mouthpiece thing and then him getting hurt, which he did. He was hurt a few times in that fight. Even though the referee shouldn't have always tried to insert himself, because at the end of the day, Errol Spence spit his mouthpiece out because he was getting touched a little bit. And he did it to buy time, and he still ended up getting clocked. And at the end of the day, whether the referee said break and Ugas still hit him, the saying, protect yourself at all times. He still could have had the option to go over there and count, because like I said, the the ropes held Errol Spence up. And people coming on my channel getting mad as shit. Hey man, why you saying that? Because I want to, that's why. Why you saying that? Because I can. Why you saying that happened? Because it did. Because what did I miss? And then I had some dude come on there. Well, his gloves didn't touch the doesn't have to touch the canvas. If the ropes hold you up from falling down, that's considered a knockdown. Your gloves don't have to touch the canvas. The referee has the option to give you a 10 count. Now, he didn't do it, but I'm just saying. If it wasn't for the ropes, Errol Spence would have got dropped. And he was hurt a few times in that fight with body shots. And when Ugas actually decided to do something, you know. Now I'm not finna get into this whole. I'm not finna, you know what I'm saying. I'm not finna try to do what happened when Crawford stopped Sean Porter, where you had a bunch of these Errol Spence apologists, these morons making videos, and I hate to use that type of dialogue when you had these fanboys saying that Sean Porter took a dive, which I thought was absurd. I'm not even finna get into that about, oh well, Ugas took a dive. I'm not getting into that. I'm not getting into that. I'm leaving that alone. Ugas just fought, and I hate to say this, and I don't want to stereotype. I don't want to stereotype, and I do apologize to my Cuban fan base, but he just fought the typical Cuban fighter style, amateurish, just trying to pot shot, play it safe, and win. He fought the wrong type of fight against Errol. And I basically said if he fought that type of fight, he was destined to lose that fight. He wasn't willing to take no chances like he did with Manny Pacquiao. And he took a little more chances with Manny Pacquiao than he did with Errol Spence. And to be honest with you, he didn't take enough chances with Manny Pacquiao. Had Ugas went for the gusto, he probably could have stopped Manny Pacquiao, but he did what he does. Like a lot of those Cuban fighters do, they try to play it safe. They want to win on points. You know what I'm saying? They just want to win on points. If they happen to get a knockout, then, you know, so be it. But they don't go for knockouts. And then it causes them, well, basically, when they fight, for people not to be that interested in watching them fight. Now, I don't know what the pay-per-view numbers is going to be. I already know that they're going to come absurd number, because that's what, you know, that's what they do. And I'm just telling the truth, and I know people sitting up there saying I'm hate, but once again, I don't give a damn. But like I said before, no, I'm not gonna get into that and say, oh man, the fight was, no, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, Ugas fought an amateur style fight, and he paid for it. He paid dearly for it. He paid dearly for it. This is what you see a lot of times with Cuban fighters, with the exception of Luis Ortiz. Now, if he gets you in trouble, yeah, he's different. But you see this a lot with him, Guillermo Rigondeaux, just a lot of these other dudes. Now, Gamboa, he used to be exciting. He used to be exciting at one time. And by the way, like I said before, he needs to quit fighting. He shouldn't be given a license to fight anymore. You have to save people from themselves, and he needs to be saved from himself. He's a shot fighter. He can't pull the trigger no more. It's gone. It's gone. You know, it's gone. And Gamboa was a hell of a fighter. Lara, when he was a main event, I saw people walking out of the arena when he was fighting. I saw people, when he fought at the Barclays Center, I literally saw people walking out of the ring. Ugas did it to himself. When you fight guys like Errol Spence, you can't sit up there and be dependent on, okay, well, I'm just going to try to pot shot him, do a little of this, do a little of that, and then, you know, try to win on point. Oh, my God. I'm like, oh, my goodness. You already knew that was a disaster in the making. I'm sitting up watching the fight. I already knew by the 7th or 8th round, I said, probably not gonna finish this fight. Now, when he did do something, when he did decide to throw punches, he was very effective. He landed some shots that bothered Errol Spence. He hurt Errol Spence a few times in that fight. And everybody is talking about the controversial 6th round. You know, I know what I saw. And I stand by what I say. And I'm not doubling down. I know what I saw. He spit his mouthpiece out, which is a veteran trick, to buy him some time. And then, if I'm not mistaken, he got points taken away from him. Both of them ended up getting points taken away from them for low blows. But I know you ain't supposed to, you know, he spit out his mouthpiece. He did the Diego Corrales. Y'all remember Diego Corrales in the first fight with Castillo? He was spitting out his mouthpiece in front of the referee so the referee could stop the time. And it worked. Wow, that was a hell of a fight too. I highly recommend you watch Castillo versus Corrales. Real good fight, action-packed fight from beginning to end. It was a hell of a fight. But yeah, that was a crafty veteran trick by Errol Spence. But he still left himself open. So I'm just saying, it's gonna be some. Yeah, he was definitely hurt. Man, as far as David Benavidez and Jermell Charlo go, it's something I want to say so bad pertaining to that fight, but I'm gonna keep it to myself. Because, as I said before, I'm not making it personal with the Charlo brothers because I don't know them dudes. I don't know them. But people have seen what they did. Seen their behavior. They just did, you know what I'm saying? Just to see them just do some stuff that just wasn't cool. And like I said, when I saw them get booed the way they did at Cowboy Stadium, like I said, that was just telling. I got a lot of subs from Houston, and they say the same stuff. They say they are not liked very well in their own hometown. So what do you think? I think the thing is with them, they spend a lot of time like putting down black people and putting down other black fighters, but then they sit up spending most of their time, praising Canelo to the high, you know what I'm saying? The high elder gods and stuff, demigods and stuff. And I think that's the problem. And people look at them like, what? And then, like I said, Jamel, by him sitting up there said, that LDBC, I just cannot get over that. Like, bro, you don't flatter yourself, dude. People don't wake up in the morning like wondering what you doing and wondering who you doing interviews with. I was like, what? And when I heard that, I was just like, wow. Like, what would make you say, like, you got to ask yourself, what would make you even remotely think of something like that? What would make you say something like that? Really, dude? Talk about, I know the LDBC go be bad because I did an interview with you, Ellie. No, bro, not really. Not really, man. Not really. The funny thing was, a lot of them was laughing at him like, bro, what? Like, dude, you really think, like, for real, you think we, they act like dudes from the LDBC was crying like Craig Robinson from the Pineapple Express when he got that coffee through the like, dude, for real, stop it, man. Or like Ben Stiller from Something About Mary. I'm talking about he was boo-hooing. like Jamel Chala won't talk to us. So? So? Like I keep saying, what makes you think that we want to talk to you? That's all I'm saying. I'm trying to pick a fight with the dude, but I'm just saying, come on, man. Like, don't think that, we lose sleep because you talking to Ellie Setback, which, like I said, I ain't got no problem with Ellie Setback. I just feel that funny. But anyway, yeah. As far as Tyson Fury and Dillian White go, I just was saying, I just don't see no buzz around this fight, a real buzz. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. It's your boy Kel Biz. I'm out. Maybe not.